Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 10.3C. I've entitled this video, Modern Challenges of the Andes and Mid-Latitude Countries. This video is going to cover pages 316 to 317. Ongoing issues. The population growth rate in the Andean and mid-latitude countries is generally not high. However, population is growing enough in some places to add to today's challenges of earning a living. It is difficult to build strong economies in the Andean region, largely because of the rugged terrain. Many countries rely heavily on agriculture, which is limited and difficult in the mountains. About 1/3 of Peruvians, for example, are farmers. They grow potatoes, coffee, and corn on terraces, pictured here, built into the mountain slopes. Farms in the valleys along the coast produce sugarcane, asparagus, mangoes, and many other crops. Mining and fishing are other important economic activities in Peru. Mines in the mountains produce silver, zinc, copper, and other minerals. Peru also produces oil and natural gas. The country's coastal waters are rich fishing grounds. Much of the fish catch is ground into fish meal for animal feed and fertilizer. Question number 1. Why is it difficult to build strong economies in the Andean region? It's difficult to build the strong economies because of the rugged terrain. It's very hard to make all the land worthwhile because of the difficult challenges provided by the rugged terrain. Number 2, what are some agricultural products grown in Peru? Potatoes, coffee, corn. Also, sugarcane, asparagus, mangoes. Question 3, besides agriculture, what are two other economic activities in Peru? Mining and fishing. Management of natural resources presents many important issues and challenges. An example is conflict between countries over gas reserves. Bolivia has the second largest reserve of natural gas in Latin America. Bolivia is landlocked. So, to export the gas, it must move through Peru or Chile. And you can see this pictured here. In 2003, the Bolivian government proposed moving the natural gas through Chile because it would be cheaper than an alternate plan to go through Peru. The Bolivian people turned out in huge numbers to protest. In Bolivia, suspicion and anger against Chile are widespread. These feelings date back to the Pacific War of the early 1880s when Chile took over Bolivia's former coastal lands. As the economies in the region develop, the primary economic activities of agriculture, mining, and fishing remain important. Other activities have become important as well. About 20% of the workers in the region are employed in the secondary or manufacturing sector. They work in factories making products. About 65% find jobs in the tertiary or services sector. They work in a wide variety of occupations, ranging from transportation and retail sales to banking and education. Question number 4. How has being landlocked made it challenging for Bolivia to export their natural gas? Well, they don't have an ability to ship it directly into the ocean or the sea because they are landlocked, so therefore they have to move it through another country. Question number 5. Why are there bad feelings between Bolivia and Chile? Well, there's bad feelings because of their history. In the past, Chile took over Bolivia's former coastal lands and thus made Bolivia landlocked. So the whole reason that Bolivia is landlocked is because they lost a war to Chile in the 1880s. So there's definitely that frustration still lingering today. Transportation and trade. This region has many geographic and regional barriers. The Andes limit construction of roads and railroads, yet highways do link large cities. The Pan-American Highway, pictured here in the top right, for example, runs from Argentina to Panama, then continues northward after a break in the highway. A trans-Andean highway connects cities in Chile and Argentina. Peru and Brazil are building the Transoceanic Highway. Parts of it opened in 2012, and that's pictured right here. Eventually, this road will link Amazon River ports in Brazil with Peruvian ports on the Pacific Ocean. Unlike other countries, Argentina has an effective railway system. Trade also connects countries. In 1991, a trade agreement known as Mercosur was signed by Argentina, Paraguay, Uruguay, and Brazil. In 2011, Mercosur merged into a new organization, the Union of South American Nations, or UNASUR. The Union set up an economic and political zone modeled after the European Union, or EU. Its goals are to foster free trade and closer political unity. Question number 6. What transportation challenges do the Andes Mountains create for South American countries? Well, they make it very hard for people to build roads and railroads there because of the jagged terrain that it creates. Question 7. What is the Pan-American Highway? Well, as you can see here, that is the highway that connects from Argentina to Panama and then heads, after breaking the action, it heads up to North America. Question number 8. What is the Transoceanic Highway? Well, that is the highway pictured here that is trying to connect the Atlantic Ocean side of South America and connecting it to the Pacific Ocean side over here. Question number 9. What are the 2 goals of the UNISER? Well, the 2 goals there are to foster free trade, so to help free trade in that area, and to make them feel closer politically. Addressing challenges. Looking toward the future, the Andean and mid-latitude countries must address many challenges. Environmental issues are among the most important. Air and water pollution is a major problem, especially in the shantytowns of urban areas where the lack of sewage systems and garbage collection increases disease. And I had to put a picture of that. Ugh. Disputed borders have presented challenges for years. For example, Bolivia and Paraguay long disputed rights to a region thought to be rich in oil. In 1998, Peru and Ecuador finally settled a territorial dispute after years of tensions marked by episodes of armed conflict. Border wars use up resources of people, money, time, and brainpower that could be used to address economic development and environmental concerns. Question number 10. What are some challenges facing the Andean and mid-latitude countries in modern times? Well, number 1, environmental issues. I mean, they're dealing with air pollution, water pollution, especially in those shanty towns where this sort of thing can happen. Secondly, border disputes. Having these countries complain about, oh, that's my land. No, it's my land. And having these disputes over resources like oil is a big deal because those territorial disputes have led to tensions, and sometimes those tensions have led to war. And war, armed conflict as the book says, that uses up precious resources of people and money and time and brain power. And so instead of trying to help the world by addressing economic development and environmental concerns, they're focused on, armed conflict, which takes up valuable resources. Well, thank you so much for watching. Before we go, disputes everywhere. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.